Hi everyone, and welcome back to Teachers Talk Money, the channel where I help teachers master their money in order to give back to themselves. Today I'm filming an extra video for you to explain my changing investment strategy from last year to this year. I decided I needed to make some adjustments. Now, my finances are staying mostly the same in terms of my income, but the way that I did things last year, I realized was unwise, and I'll tell you exactly why in this video. So in order to explain the necessity for a change, I'm going to explain my investment strategy from last year. To give you some background, my base salary was $51,268 and I earned $6,840 in stipends. Last year, every dollar that I invested went to my Roth IRA. So my after-tax dollars, I made monthly contributions to my Roth IRA, and that was usually about $500 to $600. So as you can see from any of my budget videos, this was a line in my budget and it was something I did every single month. I also set the goal for myself to be able to save enough to support myself during the summer months of July and August. And I was able to do that. I knew that I needed to save about $5,000 for these 2 months. So I decided to put my two stipends, which before tax, you remember, they were $6,840, and after tax, they turned out to be $4,140. And I put both of those directly towards my summer payments. I knew that they would end up being around that amount after taxes, so I also decided to put a portion of my tax refund towards my summer money. I liked this plan because I didn't need to save money each month for summer. I could simply take the large amounts of money that were coming in quickly and put them directly aside, and really just not have to think about it, which was nice, and notably it worked. I am currently not working and I'm reaping all the benefits of being able to take this time off for the first time since I was 16 years old. But this wasn't actually the best strategy, and here's why. Number one, I didn't know the exact amounts of what these stipends were going to turn out to be, nor did I know how much was coming back in my tax refund. This means that I left some extremely important savings a little bit up in the air, which is not what I should have done. And number two, the unexpected and unprecedented effects and existence of COVID-19 happened this year, and that taught me a real lesson about savings versus investments. So when COVID hit and my school system was very unclear and undecided for a long time, for months, about whether or not I would be receiving my stipends, I realized the money that I had sort of expected and planned on having wasn't actually guaranteed to me. In this way, I really counted my chickens before they hatched, and I shouldn't have. I fortunately still received all the stipends I expected, and I was able to put that money into my summer savings, but it showed me that these stipends were a lot more volatile than I expected. So I realized that I shouldn't let my crucial savings depend on these things that are a little bit less secure than my regular income. So I'm switching things around a little bit because actually I'm a lot more comfortable with letting my investments depend on those insecure sources of income instead of my short-term savings. This is because my investments have a lot of time for me to contribute and grow to them, and my savings do not. I would have had to simply get another job this summer, which we know is very difficult right now due to the pandemic. So I made a small adjustment and I kind of flipped my strategy a little bit. Let's take a look at the numbers for this coming school year, and then I'll explain exactly how everything's going to be allocated. So my expected base salary, and I'm not sure about this, because they still have not, as of the day I'm filming this video, finalized the salary scale for the coming school year. But it should be about $52,775, which is a small increase of $1,500 for the year. I still have the same two stipended positions, but it is very unclear as to whether we will be having sports by the time my spring sport rolls around. So I'm expecting anywhere from $3,465, which is the school newspaper stipend, which I'll continue running, to the full $6,840 for the school newspaper and co-ed volleyball, which is the sport I coach in the spring. This is the same amount as last year. I'm just not sure if I'm going to get both of them. So I decided to invest 15% of my paycheck into my employer sponsored plan, which is my 457B. If you want to know the differences between your 457B and your 403B, or even your 401k if you're not a teacher, then go to my investing video, which I will link below. Since I'll be doing this, I'll know that at least 15% of my paycheck will be invested, and that comes out to an estimated $566 a month, but I'm not totally sure about that with the new numbers from my increase in salary. I'm also interested to see how having my investments completely automated and just taken from my paycheck before I even receive the money will change my money mindset and habits. So in addition to these investments, I'm going to manually save a certain amount for summer, which will be between $350 and $400 a month. And this is based on how much money I would need to live over the summer, having already met my other savings and investing goals over the course of the school year. So this means I'm going to aim to complete the majority of my sinking funds over the 10 months that I am working. So instead of using my stipends and my tax refund at my third paycheck to pay for summer, I'm going to use these things to throw into my Roth IRA on top of the 15% that I'm investing into my 457B. I consider this a safer move because in this case, I will, no matter what, have the money I need for summer when summer comes around. And since things like my stipends are kind of up in the air and I never really know how much I'm going to get on my tax return, I can afford to not necessarily invest the absolute max amount in my Roth IRA, but I cannot afford to not save for summer. So the more questionable amounts will just be gravy to be invested in my Roth IRA, and I will have a set amount each month that I'm saving for summer. And like I said, I plan to invest my third paycheck. Most people get an extra magical unicorn paycheck twice a year, but because I'm a teacher and I only teach for 10 months, I'm just going to be getting that 1 month a year where we happen to have 3 paydays, which is in December this year. So between all of these different sources, I should be able to max out my Roth IRA, but if I can't, I'm willing to accept that in favor of having the money there for my summer. Not maxing out my Roth IRA isn't the biggest deal in the world, whereas not having enough money to pay myself over summer would mean that I would need to completely change my plans and start working over the summer again, which isn't the biggest deal in the world. I've worked a lot of summers, but it's something that I don't want to be forced into doing any longer. Ultimately, what this worldwide pandemic taught me was that I need to prioritize my savings over my long-term investments. This is difficult for me because I'm a dreamer sometimes and I'm super motivated towards the end goal of early retirement, but I need to be just as motivated to enhance my life today in the short term and in the medium term. So while I still plan to put mass amounts of money into my Roth IRA, if I can't do that because I unexpectedly lost income, that is a risk I'm willing to take over risking my summer. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this update, which will explain a lot of changes to my budget in future videos. Suddenly my take-home amount is going to be a lot lower since that will not include the amount that's being put into my 457. And I'll have another line in my sinking funds for my summer payment. Please make sure to like this video if you got value from it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content specifically focused on teacher money. Have an awesome week, everyone. Bye!